Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. And now, my favorite Yoda joke. Why was 5 afraid of 7? Because 6, 7, 8. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the G.I. Joe deck building game Crimson Veil Expansion from Renegade Game Studios. The G.I. Joe deck building game Crimson Veil Expansion from Renegade Game Studios is the latest expansion to your G.I. Joe deck building game. Now, here you've got 2 new missions the Joes are going to go on, you've got a great new vehicle that's going to help them, and you've also got kooky Crimson Guardsmen that have to be defeated with intel. So, as I say, you've got this kind of intel mechanic, and what that means is you have to go and gather intelligence. This is a side mission that you can do on any turn. So essentially what you do is you declare how many successes you're trying to get. And the number of successes will determine how many intel dice you will actually be able to get. So you go on the mission normally, you roll your regular die, and depending on how many successes you get, if you've declared that, you can gain those intel dice and you put them on the intel board there. Now this is going to be very important because during the game, you're actually going to have Crimson Guardsmen will come out as a side mission. And the Crimson Guardsmen are tough because what they do is they increase the difficulty of the story missions. So you want to take these guys out before you go after that story mission. But the only way you can defeat these guys, because they're undercover, is using the intel dice. You can't roll regular dice, just the intel dice, which have the same number of successes and misses on them that the regular dice do. But you need them for the Crimson Guardsmen to take out. But additionally, there may be other situations where you use the intel dice. For instance, after you go on a regular mission, you get a blank, you can discard 2 of those intel dice to change that into a success. Crimson Guardsmen will frequently come out with the story missions. The story missions will actually have kind of a number next to the Crimson Guardsmen, or they will have kind of a, tell you to roll dice and the number of successes or how many Crimson Guardsmen you put out there. So they can be very dangerous. This game also brings back transports, and we saw transports with the Raise the Flag expansion, Cobra transports, and these, of course, are vehicles that enhance the card abilities of Cobra cards out there. But if you roll the exact number you need to defeat them, you actually will get that vehicle as a temporary vehicle that will help the Joes on a future mission. Now, you also have a new kind of mega vehicle here. This is the General. It's kind of like a mobile operating base, and it has 5 sections to it that can give you a real edge when attempting to go after Cobra. Now, the game does start with some damage on it, and you can take certain actions to kind of repair damage. Every time you do take an action with it, you're actually going to add 2 damage to it. Now, if you use the cockpit section, you can essentially use the General as your transportation on a mission, and you get, I think, 2 explosives and 2 wild skills. It's also got a capacity of 8. And the 60mm cannon allows you to get 2 wild skill per mission, or it allows you to re-roll 1 dice. Now, the General also has 2 helipads. These are 2 different sections that essentially have the Locusts. And these are 2 vehicles that you can use to go on missions, but they're only at a capacity of 1, but they may be very helpful when you need them. You can actually bring 2 Locusts onto the same mission. The vehicle bay actually allows you to take a transport from the hangar and attach it to the General, and then during the course of a specific mission with the General, you can actually bring that vehicle into it to enhance your abilities.
We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review.
So in a nutshell, that's what you're getting with the Crimson Veil expansion. Now, of course, there's a few other little bells and whistles going on here, but that's basically what you're going to get. The bonus box actually comes, of course, with some new leaders, and you also get a kind of a dual layered general version of the general that you can use for the game. So this is brings some kind of new and interesting concepts to the game. Now, as you know, I love the GI Joe deck building game. It is quickly becoming one of my favorite deck building games I've ever played, and part of that too is just the nostalgia. I played with GI Joe as a kid. It was my toy of choice. I love GI Joe, and so there's kind of that theme there. But just on a mechanical level, I think this game is excellent. I think it is so much fun trying to find those skills and matching those skills and then rolling the dice. It's a great dice chucker deck building game, and it's so great. And it's just a wonderful cooperative game. I love co-ops, and this one does it very, very well. So I really like the Intel dice with it with the Crimson Guard theme. You've got the silver on red; it just pops on the tabletop. Tomax and Xamot, the leader of the Crimson Guard, Xamot had the scar. They're double twins, so much the same. One's in trouble, other feels pain. The Crimson Guard, the most dangerous foe of G.I. Joe, real American hero. G.I. Joe will dare. Anyway, so I really, really got a kick out of the aesthetic there of the dice and how it fits the theme. The general's fun. The general gives you a lot more options when going on missions. It gives you better chances to go after some of those really tough missions. In fact, I played through the first mission with Ray, and I don't think we fully took advantage of the general as much as we should have, but we ended up winning, and which was really cool. I played through the second mission solo, and even though I was taking advantage of some of those things, I screwed the pooch. I really screwed up, and I lost pretty early in the game. I think I made it to the end of Act 1, and I screwed up. So anyway, but I love this game. I love the G.I. Joe deck building game. I love the expansions that bring kind of new and fun and exciting ways to play the game. The only critique I have of this game system is we need some kind of a storage solution. I've actually had some people comment and send me messages asking about that, but I don't think it's in the cards. But I would love to see a GI Joe deck building game storage solution. That would be freaking awesome. But I got to tell you, Renegade Game Studios with the GI Joe deck building game is just consistently knocking it out of the park. The game is so much fun. It's so interesting. It's so tense. You know, that game I was playing with Ray, that first game. I mean, literally, it came down to the wire. It came down to the wire. We were, we had like one die roll left, and if it was a success, we'd win. If it was a blank, we lost, and it was intense. We were biting our nails, and we're like playing every card we can to maximize what we can do. And we were on our last leg, and we're like, come on, and we rolled that die, and it was a success, and it was much merrymaking ensued. It was so much fun. I love the GI Joe deck building game, and this is another great expansion. On the Cody scale, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Tremendously fun game, and it's another great expansion. Well, thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we'd ask you to please leave a comment for us here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page. Check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, X. And please, as I say, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Please like and subscribe this video on YouTube. We'd ask you to give it a thumb on Board Game Geek as well. And if you really do enjoy the content we bring you here, I would ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history, books on history, fun things like that. It would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to that channel as well. Also, too, if you do like this channel, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. And now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my steamy Masters of the Universe novel, 50 Shades of Grayskull. They're double twins, so much the same. One's in trouble, other feels pain. The Crimson Guard, the most dangerous foe of G.I. Joe, real American hero. G.I. Joe will dare.